Hi everyone, I'm Chris Capotosto. I am one of the Tableau student ambassadors, and I am also the student instructor for the Fundamentals of Tableau course at UC Riverside. So today we're going to be going over some quick table calculations as well as calculated fields in Tableau. Keep in mind, calculated fields are a great way to segue into parameters, but of course that'll be for a different video. So right now, in the view, we see two sets of bar charts. The first giving a dollar breakdown of the categories within each year. And at the bottom, we are seeing how each of those categories contributes within that specific year. So to create this, we're actually going to drag our order date into columns and drag sales into rows. So of course you can go back into measures or hit Command or Control, click to duplicate it. And under the All Marks card, we hit bar. So now we have our bars. If we want to go break this down even more into category, we can drag category into color so we have a better idea of contribution. But if we want to drill down more to have the exact numbers, we can just hit this Show Marks Labels button, and gives us the dollar amount of sales per category per year. So in order to do our first quick table calculation, we right-click sum of sales and we do percent of total. So right now we're seeing some different percentages. So the percentages that are being shown right now are actually the percent contribution of each category within the 4-year period. So that means that this technology section, this technology category in 2018 is showing how much of that specific category, so technology in 2018, is contributing to the 4-year period of all sum of sales. So in order to change this to reflect the number, let's say the percentage within 2018, all we have to do is go back, right-click sum of sales, and compute using table down. So table across, to reiterate, to share how I think of this, would be technology is being compared to each year across from each category. But if we want to see it specifically for 2018, we can do table down, so it's just reading that year. So table across would be like a 4-year period, and table down would be just one specific year. And so now we see technology's contribution in the percentage in this in the second set of bars as 37%. So if we want to create this in a in a table, rather than going in from the sheet and just having to redo everything, we could actually duplicate this as a crosstab. So now we have the crosstab perfectly laid out here. But if we wanted to create it by ourselves, it would be relatively simple and similar to the bar chart. So all we have to do is drag our order date in columns, and then we can just double click sales, right? So here are sales, and if we want our categories, we would have to bring in our categories. So now we have a better idea of how each category is performing, but if we want to know how more information on that, so in my opinion, it's very difficult to see a lot of information within bar charts. So preferably in a table, we could bring in our subcategories to give us a better idea of how all of these perform. And if we want to do a quick table calculation, again, we can just bring in sum of sales and have it show as text. Okay, hold on. And our quick table calculation of percent of total, and then bring it into our text. So of course, again, I made a mistake there. Bring in sales into the view, right click, and then quick table calculation, percent of total, and then drop that into text. And so now we see the percent total as well as the sum of sales. So for our calculated field, we're going to be looking at it in a table, but of course you can use calculated fields in different views, but for right now we're just going to use tables. So we have our cost, profit, and sales. So if you downloaded the Superstore data, or you're able to find it and you're following along, you actually don't see cost. So whenever there's an equals pound sign, that means that this measure was actually manually created or manually calculated. So what we're going to do, we're going to go and delete this. And it's obviously going to leave our view, but to create a calculated field, we're going to click this small triangle, create calculated field, and we're going to name it cost. So of course this is the calculated their calculations pane within Tableau, and originally it's going to look like this. And then if you click this arrow, it'll give you more options, and these are all the operators and syntax that Tableau handles, and it gives pretty simple understanding and instructions on how to do these. And of course when you start typing, it'll tell you if you're making any errors, but for the sake of the video and trying to have it a bit short, we're just going to go ahead and make our cost. So of course cost is going to be the sum of our sales minus the sum of our profit. So we can go see that the calculation is valid, hit OK, and we have our cost. And we can, all we have to do is double click our cost, and we can see the cost of each subcategory within the category. So thank you. I hope you enjoyed this and this video, and hopefully calculations, whether that be quick table or calculated fields, make more sense to you. Of course, feel free to drop your questions down below in the comments, or reach out to the Tableau community on the forums page. That is a great way to get your answers solved. There are some great Zen masters who really know how to work Tableau and would be more than happy to help you in any way. Of course, within the forums there's a whole like registry, or if you want to look up your question specifically, you can go do that, so you don't have to post a comment. I would suggest looking to see if your question or a similar question is in the database. But yeah, those were quick table calculations and calculated fields. Thank you again, and I'll see you in the next video.